trumpet extremely well. He's won the national trumpet competition. He does everything. He is here with us to explain what a portfolio career is, and actually the fact that most of us do it without even realizing it. There is an interactive part. Please participate. If anybody puts words up there that I would not deem fit, it's going to be me and you in the back alley, because all of you are over the age of 18.
I'll take my chance.
And I'm not wearing UNG today. And we're going to get a QR code. We're going to get okay, that's what they need?
That's the QR code, yeah.
Okay, cool. I got to figure out a way to get that to the people in Gainesville. Everybody, hi to the people if you're in Gainesville.
Hi, Gainesville.
Hi, Gainesville. Hi, Gainesville.
Hey.
Okay, I sent them. I need to find out who I need to send this to.
Who's spamming the like thing? Good for you.
Also, yeah.
Okay.
It's a collective effort.
There's just so much love there.
Everybody, please welcome our special guest, Mr. Patrick Oliverio.
So today's topic we're going to talk about is a portfolio career, musicians. So quick little overview of what we're going to do. Don't really have to talk too much about that. So a little bit about myself. Like Professor Brown said, I'm a member of the Fountain City Brass Band. I've been a member for about 13 years now. I've played soprano cornet, piano cornet, solo cornet, first, or second, third, flugelhorn, and solo tenor horn. We've won something like, I think, 11 national championships, 2 overseas, second in brass in concert, a whole bunch of really cool things. I've also played with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, the Alabama Symphony, Kansas City Symphony. Any other symphonies that I forgot to mention? Oh, Brass Band of Battle Creek, which is a really cool group. Oh, Kansas City Ballet. I've won the national trumpet competition, done a couple cool things there. But my current job, I'm not I guess by the traditional sense, a professional musician. Whereas my full-time job is not playing the trumpet. I'm a photographer, I'm a videographer, I'm also an audio engineer. That's where I get the majority of my pay. But I do other things on the side to also supplement that income. So talking about what is a portfolio career? Who's heard of the term side hustle? Raise your hand. Cool. Back whenever I was like in school, or a couple years ago, not a couple years ago, a long time ago, side hustles were a cool thing where it's like, oh, I want to pick up some extra money, so I'm going to pick up like Uber or DoorDash or whatever. It has gotten so prevalent to where this term has been created, portfolio career, because side hustles are no longer a side hustle. It's part of your income. If you don't have it, it's hard to pay bills. So, portfolio career is a modern working style where an individual manages multiple income streams, part-time jobs, freelance projects, simultaneously, instead of relying on one full-time employer. It focuses on diversifying skills, passions, and revenue, also combining consulting, creative work, freelancing, teaching to build a more flexible, tailored personal life. So one thing that I have noticed from all of my friends and colleagues in the music world is, who's heard of work-life balance? Who can tell me what that means?
It's like balancing your on-the-clock time with your free time.
Yeah, essentially, like, who wants to have a family? Like, raise your hand. Who wants to get married, maybe have kids? Maybe. Who wants to have a stable life? Most people? Yeah? Cool. It is fairly difficult to have a work-life balance as a full-time musician. It's incredibly difficult because of the work that we do in its nature. Like, most symphony musicians that I know are home during the day, and they're somewhere else in the afternoons. They're either doing rehearsals, or they have concerts, or they have gigs, or they have lessons. And the problem is that's kind of the time that you want to have for, if you have kids, they get out of school, you have to go pick them up. You have to spend time with them, you have to make dinner. Well, you're not there for that. So the purpose of this is kind of getting your guys' minds around what are some things that you can do aside from just playing principal or second or third in a symphony orchestra, or just doing this one job. What are some things that you can do to actually tailor a career to the lifestyle that you want? Does that make sense? Okay. Now we get over to the wordplay. This thing. Does everyone scan that yet? Great. So hard that I can't really see. Is this right? This is great. This is really, really great. Pit orchestra. Ooh, that's a tough job. Music historian. Thank God someone put that. Music therapy. That is a huge career field that is constantly growing, is music therapy. We almost have everyone. Theater. I might ask whoever said that because I don't know what you mean. Because that could basically be like pit orchestra, maybe. Or musical theater. Great. This is a fantastic touring musician. Yep, like a touring soloist. Gig to gig. So we don't say gig to, like, that's just freelance musician. Like, let's just be real. Freelance musician, not gig to gig. Education, choir director. Yeah, this is all fantastic. These are careers that I would list under just music. Like, you are in the music field. What I kind of am interested in is who has ideas on what is a music adjacent career? Oh, we have more space. Music adjacent. I'll give you a hint. I've already said it. I've already said one.
Music therapy?
No, it's still under music. Music therapy. Okay, let me ask you this. Who thinks that photography is an art form? Raise your hand. Okay. You think that might be music adjacent? Photography is one. I would also say videographer, cinematography, filmmaker. I'd say that's music adjacent. Also, you deal with music a lot as a videographer. That's the crux of my job is music, because I have such strong opinions about music that when I pick something for the videos that I make, it is very intentful. Like, I have a lot of thoughts about it. And then when a client says, yeah, I just don't like the track, can we change it to something else? And they send me something that is god-awful. It's hard. It's really difficult. So I would say photographers, videographers is definitely one. Let me see. We only got 12 and 15. Oh, no. Musicologist, educator, DBA, side hustle. Great. All these are great. Let's move on to the next slide. Ooh, yep. What are the leading qualities for success in music? What do you think it takes to be successful in a career in music? Yes. Yes. Yup. Charisma. All right. Easy to work, man. So, easy to work with. Yep. Yep. That is a very, very true statement. Oh man, we're seeing a pattern. So anytime a word gets bigger, that means that more than one person has actually put it in. So, work ethic is definitely one. Dependability. What do you mean by dependability? Does anyone in this room write that?
I did.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you're not gonna get gigs if people don't think they can count on you.
Okay. So maybe being on time, showing up to the gig.
It's a blanket term, I think.
Yeah, being able to do your job at said gig,
Yeah.
and practice the music for said gig.
Let's just say handling your business.
Oh, I love it. Passion. Passion is one that people have put up multiple times. If you are not, I don't like giving like ultimatums or like blanket statements, but I feel pretty strongly about this one. If you are not passionate about what you do, you will not be successful. There's a blanket statement, and I will stand by that till I die. If you are not passionate about what you do, you will not be successful. And I'll say especially in music. I have seen so many people that are the best trumpet players I've heard to that date, but they were not passionate. They are not doing trumpet, they're not doing music anymore. And it's a shame because they were amazing musicians, but they didn't have the passion for it. So if it's something that you're not passionate about, don't. Find something that brings you passion, because that will outlast everything. If you're passionate about what you do, you never work a day in your life. Like I still, I'm so passionate about music, but I'm also passionate about photography. So I don't feel like my job takes a lot out of it, because it's still like an art form. This is great. Work ethic, consistency, and passion. Love Love, 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 love. Ooh, let's be vulnerable. What fears do you have about a career in music? There it is! Didn't take us long to get there, did we? Nobody commissions me. Yeah. Yep. Oh, yep. See, this part of my presentation makes me like actually sad and depressed because I'm seeing exactly what I have.
I wonder who said
People hate atonal music.
Who could have that been?
Whoever wrote that, that's not true. That is not
It's
true.
true around here.
That's unfortunate. Because there is a community of contemporary music that loves atonal music and that is so passionate about it. Symphony orchestras are one. That is a huge thing right now. Like in the Kansas City Symphony, our new music director, Matthias Pincer, is a huge advocate for contemporary music, and I love it. Because instead of just playing these standards, oh, we're doing another Shostakovich, oh, we're doing another Mahler, oh, we're doing another Mozart, oh, we're doing another Beethoven. It's something new, which is awesome and refreshing. Because you can only play Beethoven Symphony whatever so many times before you just get bored. And that lends to this. I saw one, where is it? Burnout. Burnout is one of the biggest crises I feel that we are facing in music. Is we have, and especially in academia, is burnout. Kids feel like they are just, they don't know what to do. They lose, and that goes to, where is it that? Losing my passion. It goes to that. That's why I say that passion is the thing that you need to focus on the most and harness and nurture is your passion. Because if you remain passionate, you will not burn out. So quick, vulnerable story, since we're all being vulnerable here, so I'm not good enough. Man. Family life balance, people stuck in the 1700s. That's pretty good. I'll be vulnerable really quick. I quit trumpet for 3 years because I just couldn't take it. And this was after I won the national trumpet competition, the international women's brass solo competition, and was routinely subbing with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, a Tier 1 symphony orchestra. I just couldn't do it anymore. I didn't have the passion anymore, and I just quit. And I started doing other stuff. I became a stay-at-home dad to my son, which was great. I'm not, that's not a bad thing. But, I had to find my passion again. And it took 3 years for me to do that. And I will say the thing that drives me more than anything in music now is my passion for it, specifically for teaching this kind of things, for teaching trumpet, for playing trumpet, on my own terms, not sitting in a symphony orchestra and playing the same stuff over and over and over again. I love playing the brass band I play in. I love doing solo recitals. I love playing with chamber groups. I love teaching. I'm actually now getting this. We were really afraid that my son wasn't going to like music, but he's actually wanting to learn trumpet now, which is awesome, and he's passionate about it. He comes to us and is like, can we have a trumpet lesson? And it's like, oh, this is so great. That's the thing that makes me the most depressed right now with music is burnout. So just support no personal time. Yeah, no breaks, no growth. Artificial intelligence, I will say, I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be okay because AI cannot recreate a beautiful concert done by a symphony orchestra or a choir or an amazing musical theater performance. It won't be able to do that. That's a human element. What we do is inherently human. And that's where I think they will not replace us. Now I think there's some pop stuff and things in mainstream that might go to AI, but I don't think it's gonna replace what we do. Money. All right, we'll get to the money thing here in a second. Okay. Oh, there we go. Next. What would you like to know more about? So this kind of goes to questions, and I'm going to save these responses. What are aspects about portfolio careers that you would like to know more about? That way I can maybe address them in this class. burnout prevention methods. Yep. How to get jobs in other countries. How to make connections. That's really funny because I was just about to answer that question to countries and you kind of answered it with that one. It's making connections. So who goes to like different like festivals or conferences or whatever, conventions? 3, 4? I know all of you have a convention of some sort or a festival of some sort in whatever you do. So who are instrumentalists? Raise your hand. Who are vocalists? Who theater? Okay, cool. You all have a conference you can go to. Those are the places that you can go and meet people who are like you from other countries, from other parts of the United States, that might be doing something a little different than you in the same field that you're in. Making those connections will lead to jobs in other countries. Like, one of my really dear friends is a guy named Owen Farr. He teaches at the Royal Northern Conservatory of Music in England, in the Royal Welsh Conservatory. I mean, he has numerous times said, well, if you guys ever want to move to the UK, we definitely have jobs for you at the Royal Northern. It's like, okay, well that's cool. And it's simply by getting to know those people from over there. And I met him at a conference. So, how do you balance everything? It's a great question. I'll let you know whenever I figure it out. I want to know more about the market for new contemporary music. Ooh. Time management, work-life balance. Great. There's so many. How to know when to say no to a gig/opportunity. Ooh. That's very good. How to be likable as a musician. That one's really easy. My teacher in my master's degree had a phrase. It had an expletive in it, so I won't use the expletive, but how to be likable as a musician, don't be a jerk. Jerk was another expletive. Don't be a jerk. Be a good person. Like, treat other people with respect. I know that is kind of a high bar today, which is wild to me. Treat people with respect. Respect and kindness. That's how you be likable as a musician. I've known musicians that are good at their instrument, good, that have amazing jobs, and they're constantly subbing with amazing symphonies and playing all over the world. They get those because they're likable, they're respectful, they're very kind, they're very nice, they're pleasant to be around. That's it. And they're competent at their instrument. So I'm not saying you can just like not play your instrument and be good and be nice, but yeah, don't be a jerk. Be respectable. How to schedule such have multiple jobs and still have free time. Ooh, okay, we'll get into all this. This is good. Time management, keeping the passion. Great. This is all great. Great. All right, we're gonna go back to the slideshow real quick. Boop. All right, so I'm gonna get a little bit depressing really quick. I'm sorry. But I've got to give some statistics. I've done a lot of research into this. Estimated yearly music performance degrees in this country. That is the average of how many students graduate every year from the United States with music performance degrees. 7,300 students. Estimated yearly music education. I actually thought this was shocking. There are less music educators than there are music performers. That's wild to me. 47 to 40, and all this is coming from NASM, higher ed, coming from College Factual, very reputable sources. Estimated yearly performance jobs, full-time. When I say full-time, it's a livable wage, above poverty line, if you will. 1,000 to 3,000. And that is counting not just symphony orchestras, that's counting pit orchestras, that's counting cruise ships, that's counting any sort of full-time performing opportunities that you can have as a musician. 1 to 3,000. That is above poverty line. A little bit more hopeful for music education. Full-time job, 8,000 to 12,000. So we have a little bit of a disparity here, don't we, with performance majors. All right, now we're going to get a little bit specific here. I went into specifically the path, trumpet players, to a trumpet player, because I have a lot of friends that have gone and gotten bachelor's in music education and performance, double degrees, master's in music, and a doctorate in trumpet performance. The top degree that you can get. Estimated yearly trumpet performance jobs, 40 to 50. Above poverty. 40 to 50. There are about 300 to 400 trumpet performance graduates every year with a BM, MM, and DMA for those 40 to 50 jobs. There are 25 to 38 DMA graduates. That is not ABD, that is full doctor. They are ready to take a job in trumpet every year for approximately 10 to 25 collegiate teaching jobs. That's including so who knows what adjunct professors are? Okay. That is not full-time. That is by credit hour, by class, and visiting in full-time. It's common to see, this is more for orchestra, I will say. I've had a really difficult time finding the numbers on college applications, but it's common to see 100 to 300 applicants for one job posting. I will tell you the last time I took a major audition was the Kansas City Symphony principal audition, I'm gonna date myself, in 2015. They had 157 applicants for, and that is the applicants that showed up. Not the ones that they got resumes for. That is who they let through to semifinals for one job. All right, let's get a little bit undepressed now. What can we do? So, taking all that into effect, average adjunct salary is 10 to 15K per year, 6 credits per semester. Average hourly rate for private, so who teaches private lessons in here? Oh my God, one? How many middle schools and high schools, who can tell me, like, I don't know the area very well, how many middle schools and high schools are around this area, would you say? 5? Okay, let's, oh no, oh no. Oh no, my computer died. Who's the trumpet person? Can you go in the office and grab, there's a little battery charger and a USB-C cable in my trumpet case? Thank you, you're the best. That's right. So okay, 5, how about maybe in like the surrounding 20-mile area? Is there more than 5?
Yeah.
Say maybe 10? Okay. Are they fairly large programs?
Some of them.
Some of them? Okay. But that is, let's say 10. 10 opportunities for you guys to start private lesson students. I feel very strongly that anyone really sophomore year and above should start doing private lessons, specifically start in middle school. Especially if you want to be a teacher. Like if you want to be a high school, middle school teacher, start teaching now. Get better at it, yes.
Are you going to talk about how to like advertise yourself?
Yes, 100%. So I'll address that literally right now. Do you know the names of the schools? Great. Do they have websites?
Yes.
Great. Do you know the teacher's name?
Yes.
Okay. Go on their website, look up the teacher, get their email, send them an email, and simply say something like, hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. I am a music major at UNG, and I'm looking to start a private lesson studio. Do you have any students that would be interested in taking private lessons in instrument you play? Sincerely, sign name. It is that simple. Just making the contact. You would be surprised. There's also a brick. Thank you. You did such a good job. You would be shocked at how many band directors are like, oh, thank God someone reached out. I've been trying to do this for so long, I just haven't had time. Do that for all 10 schools. It will take you 30 minutes. And if you get, let's say, 3 of them to respond, and you get 2 students from each school, that's 6 lesson students off the bat at $40 an hour for where you can start. It's not bad. It's a lot better than like working Starbucks. Done it. Done it, I understand. Like, just making the simple contact and having the initiative to contact them will show that you are passionate about what you do.
whenever we're like fixing our rate, how do we not come off as like being a jerk or being like, I charge this much an hour?
Just simply say, oh, bless you. Just simply say, this is my rate. If their student has it, because I'm this way. If a student has issues with that rate, please let me know. Please contact me. I'm willing to work. So I'm not going to turn a student away because they can't afford it. I was that student in high school. I'm not going to do that to another student. I will give them the opportunity, right? So, just simply say, this is my rate. If there's a student that has difficulty with that rate, please let me know. I'm willing to help. Make sense? Any other questions about that? Like just reaching out and doing, yes?
What if you don't have like a studio to use? Would you recommend doing like Zoom lessons?
On it, Zoom, yes, Zoom is a good way. I always think in person is great first, and then you can move to Zoom. Are you guys able to use this building for lessons as students?
I don't fully know legally. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think it's a legal thing.
Legal thing.
What you can do is like, if you get in tight with a high school person, you can be like, hey, can I use the band room or the chorus room? And then you might get more people to sign up because it's
Is this after school? All they have to do is stay, and their parent can pick them up later. Which, as a parent, would be nice. You stay an extra hour, and an extra hour yourself. Selfish person. Yeah, just when you reach out to the band director, say, I'm willing to come to your high school and to teach out of your band room at the end of the day. Then they're like, that's great. I have to do nothing. Other questions about this? This is great. Yeah.
So what if we like worked with ensembles like band camps and stuff, but we've never taught a private lesson? How would we start our rates?
So I would say maybe doing a little bit of research about what students in your, like maybe even students here, charge for their hourly rate, and just use that as your basis. I think that $40 an hour is fair for really an undergraduate. That's fine. I know with each degree you get, your rate goes up. That's, I think, is the metric. But yeah, just reaching out and kind of seeing what the going rate is always good. Other questions? This is great. This is really, really good while we get this up and running.
It's charging, it's just not.
She tries so hard. She's 5 years old, so.
Do you have a link? I can look mine up, but I don't have HDMI.
We'll do the Q&A now, if that helps. I was going to say that for the end. Anyone else kind of have questions just about portfolio careers in general? I mean, you guys did have a lot of questions up there that were on the screen that I no longer have, so maybe asking them out loud.
I said how to say no to a gig or opportunity. How do you know when to?
So as a young player, I would say take every opportunity that you can, that you like physically can do, because you're young, you have time. Like if time is a thing, then obviously say no. But as you get older, so first, and this is in the slideshow when we get there, when we get back there. Who knows what a resume is? Great, resume, yeah. Okay, most of you. Who knows what a CV is? This is always great. Oh, we've got one. We've got two kind of. I'm going to ask the kind of. What do you think it is?
Isn't it more of like a list of experiences?
It's a more complete listing of everything that you have done. So you're talking about your degrees, you're talking about your teaching experience, both in the form of like private lesson and masterclass experience. It's your performance experience, who you played with. It's a list of if you've made CDs, like discography. It's your awards. It's pretty much everything you humanly can put down of what you have done as a professional, right? So a resume is just, I would say, a snapshot, like a highlight of what you have done. So like orchestras will ask, please submit a resume. That's pretty much where you went to school, who you've played with. I think everyone should start a CV in their undergrad. As someone who started a CV in their late master's degree, that was really hard because I had to think back years about what I had done and do research and like all that jazz to figure out what I did. If you start now, you're all starting with a kind of blank slate, especially the freshmen and sophomores. Start now. Research like a format of a CV. If you want, I'm happy to send you mine, and you can use it as a template. Totally cool. and just start it now. Getting back to your question, the older you get and the more along in your career you do, I look at my CV, and if there's a hole where it's like, oh, this is something I need to like do. If that gig doesn't match it, like match that place that I need, that thing that I need, and I don't want to do it, I don't feel like it, I say no. That's fine. Because I mean, if say, I've played a lot of musical theater stuff. I do a lot of like the touring Broadway stuff in Kansas City. I did that in Arkansas. So like, the West Side, I've done Wicked, I've done Mary Poppins. So like, I feel pretty comfortable like saying, I don't really need to do that much musical theater anymore because I've kind of done that and I know what that's like. Like, not my gig, it's not my thing. So it's like if I get an opportunity again where it's like, hey, we'd love for you to come out and play, unless I like love the musical and I want to go do it, I'm not going to say yes. So it gets easier the older you get and the more experiences you have. But as a young person, I would just take every opportunity you can. And here's the other thing. Do not, I'm going to say this very loud, take gigs for experience only. Do not, if someone says, oh man, this is great exposure, we're not really paying, but it's great exposure for you. No. You're devaluing your art if you do that. Because you're giving them something for free. That is not cool. It's like, I've had friends that are like, hey man, I see that you're here. Did you bring your camera? I'd love to get some headshots. To my friends, I would say, that's great. My hourly rate is $150 an hour. Happy to do it. And if they're like, man, that's steep. What?
Oh, it's turning on.
Praise.
Yay. Yes.
A hand for professional. Okay. So we were talking about that. Other questions that we had up on the screen that we'll have back very shortly. Yes.
Maybe this is more like specific, but like if you have, like say you have like a very niche thing that you want to do, but you have like a lot of voices going on, like around like your friends, your family, or somebody that's like saying, no, you won't be good at that, or no, you can't do that. How would you recommend like dealing with that? Maybe.
Let me ask you this. It's a question to your question. Are you passionate about it?
Yes.
Are you very passionate about it?
Yes.
Okay. They don't matter. Those voices don't matter. I was actually just teaching a lesson about this today. When you boil down everything, like why you guys are here, why you guys do music, when you boil it down to like the bare bones, it's you do it because you enjoy it, yeah? Hopefully everyone's head goes yes in this. You do music because you enjoy it. You're certainly not in it for like, to become like ridiculously rich. You don't do it because it's easy, it's hard. You do it because you enjoy it. Never allow someone the power to take that from you. I had that realization later in life, but not super late. I was probably in my like mid-20s when I had that realization, like literally getting on stage where I was nervous. I had wickedly bad performance anxiety, like shaking bad performance anxiety. And I had the realization, it's like, why am I doing this to myself? And I thought, well, I enjoy it. Like at its core, like I do this because I love doing it. I was like, then why am I nervous about it if I love doing it? It's like, well, I'm worried about what other people are gonna think. It's like, why should I care what they think if I enjoy it? Why would I give them that power over me? What? I mean, I'm sitting back there sweating and shaking, and they're sitting out here just waiting to listen to me play. And to be honest, like most people that are in audiences, they're not there to judge you, they're there to support you. It goes back to the whole like applause thing and bowing. The reason why we bow is we're recognizing that they're here in support of you and saying thank you. So why would I have that thought and give other people, maybe if they are in the audience with ill intent, why would I give them that power to take that from me? So if you're passionate about it, don't give them that power to persuade you out of it. Just be convicted in what you do, very convincing in what you do. Keep the passion alive. And in lack of better term, screw with it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are we back up?
Yes.
Yay! Microsoft. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Okay, what do we have to do this?
Well, at least I have it for you. Oh, no. No, I'm back. Boom. Unplug it. There we go. Okay. So we were talking about music adjacent things, right? Maybe.
Yes. Maybe.
And go. Hey! Good job. All right, so adjacent, when we were talking about music adjacent positions, production and recording. So like who likes like kind of recording music technology kind of stuff? So it's a wickedly cool thing that I got into during COVID. Like I wasn't by any means professional, but I just taught myself how to do it. And now that's like one of the things that I do for like a living kind of. It's a part of my portfolio. It's production and recording. Content creation. Who knows what that means? It's kind of like a stigma now because there's a lot of content creators. But creating content online for what your passion is. Like if you're so passionate about it, tell others about it. Because passion is infectious. If you are passionate about what you do and you communicate that to others, they will become attracted to what you do. They will be very interested in what you do, just based off your passion. It's exciting. You can watch someone talk about, I don't know, like 1930s ragtime, and they're like wickedly passionate about it. And it's like, I don't like ragtime, but I'm interested now. This is great, just because of how passionate they are. Arts administration. Who knows what that means? Arts administration.
Like any kind of like, I'm gonna call it like a desk position. Any kind of like desk position that oversees some kind of like.
My music administrator would be very nice for like a desk position. But yes.
Like an agent or publishing company?
Yeah, as an example, yeah, kind of. So let's take any other, like, want to take a crack at it?
Maybe more of like the executive side of like musical organizations.
That's definitely, yeah. So like when you think of, let's just take like just because I know symphony orchestra. When you think of a symphony orchestra, how do you buy tickets to a symphony orchestra? You purchase them through a website, or you go there physically and you buy it from a
Booth?
box office. There's a box office staff. Like there are physically people there selling you tickets. There's also a manager of the box office that deals with group sales. Then there's a marketing department that's like putting up advertisements on radio and TV and billboards and all that stuff to sell tickets. Then there's the outreach that's going out to schools and doing like outreach concerts for kids or bringing them into the symphony hall and doing outreach for them. There's also development, which is the kind of like getting money from people thing. There's also the executive side. There's the personnel side. There's so many different positions in symphony orchestras. I think within just the Kansas City Symphony box office, there are, I want to say close to 30 full-time positions, salaried full-time positions that are paid pretty darn well. Aside from just like the executive board, like the president and like the vice president of finance and all that, like actual other positions. So arts administration is amazing. I know some amazing musicians that still play very regularly that are arts administrators, and their full-time job, but then they get to play on the side because that job is very understanding about the musician's lifestyle. And then extended or expanded teaching paths. What do I mean by that? You can take a crack at it.
Like publishing textbooks or your work, essays,
Also, what else? Think along that line.
albums?
Say again?
Albums, music?
Albums, music, yeah, I guess, kind of. What about, who's heard of courses? Has anyone like seen like the advertisements of like, you gotta get this photography course and learn how to do sports photography in like 5 days? That's a huge emerging market right now. Like especially in the trumpet world, my God, like throw a rocket against someone that's creating a trumpet course on something. they're making pretty decent money off of it. And it's a cool kind of thing. If they're passionate about it, I support it 100%. If it's not kind of like they're trying to swindle people and they're actually helping people, who am I to judge? You know what I mean? So yeah, expanding also, someone mentioned Zoom lessons. That was never a thing. Like, I know some of you don't remember, like COVID maybe, but like that was never a thing up to 2020, ever. I never thought I'd be teaching on a computer screen full time for years. Like that's wild, but that's a huge avenue right now. I know guys, there's a guy named Tom Hooten who's the principal trumpet in the LA Philharmonic. He has a lesson studio of like 40 people he teaches, all via Zoom. None of them are in person, all on Zoom. That's insanity. It used to be, back in my day, you drove to wherever that person was and you physically took a lesson. Like I had to go to Chicago to like take a lesson with Barbara Butler. And it was really expensive. The car ride up or the plane ride, and then you have to pay for a hotel and blah, blah, blah. Zoom, super easy. Hop on a Zoom call, maybe Zelle or PayPal, Venmo them some money, and you're good. And you can record it too, which is awesome. Okay. Yay. It's not going to die now. Some more adjacent careers, instrument repair. Who knows what instrument, well, hopefully you all know what instrument repair is. Hopefully you've all gotten your instruments maintained, right? I was an instrument repair person for 8 years. Like I started in high school as like a summer help guy and I literally learned the entire trade for brass repair. It was awesome. I loved what I did. It's a very physically hard job to do. I mean, think about taking a tuba and putting it in an ultrasonic machine, filling it with solution, and then picking said instrument out of it. It's pretty heavy. Instrument manufacturing. All of the instruments that you guys play on had to be made somewhere. Some of those manufacturers are actually still in the United States. They have to be made by people. That's a really awesome, I find it fascinating. I've been to the Bach factory, which is the instrument that I play, and I've seen them making trumpet. It's fascinating stuff. And that's a full-time job. They're salaried. They have benefits. It's awesome. Music therapy. Who's interested in music therapy? It's an amazing career field. I've had at least a dozen friends go through the music therapy department in UMKC, and they love their jobs. They're either working at like children's hospitals, they're working at nursing homes, they're working at assisted living facilities, and the people that they treat worship them. And the work that they do is some of the most important work I've ever seen in music. I get emotional thinking about it. Like there's a friend of mine that works at the Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City, and she routinely goes to their cancer ward. And I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna get really emotional about it. It's the most fulfilling job you can do, I would say, right now. Music therapy. It's amazing. Okay. Didn't think I was gonna get emotional during this. This is weird. All right. Oh man, there's some words that were put up on the screen a little bit. Some keys to sustainability with a portfolio career, or just in music in general. Consistency. Consistently practicing, consistently getting out there. Be a diligent practicer, being a diligent student. Some of the best musicians I've ever met in my life are what I call forever students. They're constantly learning. They're constantly, there was an individual that I was talking to at the National Trumpet Competition last week. He's 76 years old. He's one of the best trumpet teachers in the country. And he's so interested in how other people are doing it at their universities. He's still like, man, it's really cool what you guys are doing. I would love to learn what you're doing. Consistency. Networking is what we talked about. Like getting out to different conferences, different competitions, different conventions, whatever the name. Getting out of like your little sphere here, because this reminds me a lot of the university I went to as my undergrad. It's like a little bubble. Getting out of the bubble and seeing what's out there and meeting new people in your career field is amazing. Organization. I'm not the most organized person in the world, but I had to be successful. I have to have a little bit of it. Marketing. Paperwork and taxes. Quality. What do I mean by quality? I love that. Can you say it maybe a little louder?
Making sure that every time you show up, you're doing the
better be a quality product, regardless of what it is. Quality, I think, sometimes can be one of the first things to go, but you always have to have quality in mind in what you do. You always have to give 100% of what you're doing, at that time. And contact, that kind of goes to networking and getting to meet new people and keeping in touch with people. Like what I was talking about, like the band directors in the high schools and middle schools around the area, just reaching out and contacting people for opportunities. Don't be afraid to do that. Like reaching out and saying, I would love to come out and do a clinic with the drums for a middle school. They would love for that. That would be amazing. So, contact. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of time. That way it leaves more room for questions. How to help yourself succeed. So who has a headshot in here? Ooh, that's more than I thought it would be. Great. Who is a friend that's a photographer? Raise your hand. Great. The people that didn't raise their hand, talk to those people. And just get a headshot. It doesn't need to be insane. And honestly, who has like a modern phone? Raise your hand. Within the past 3 years. Yeah. You have a professional camera in your pocket. I mean, this is I think it's an iPhone 16, I think. It has a 48 megapixel sensor. That's insanity for photography. Get some good lighting, get a picture, and just have a professional headshot. You will thank yourself later whenever someone reaches out and is like, hey, I would love to have you out, but can I get a headshot of you that way you can advertise it? And it's like, I don't, okay. Have it ready. Resume and CV, we already talked about. Recordings. Who records themselves? Let me ask this question. Who records themselves regularly? Who records themselves every time they practice? Oh, we still have some hands up. You guys win. Record yourselves all the time. There's no reason to. Back in my day, I had a reason. I didn't have a smartphone. I had to have a actual recording device. And it was a hassle to carry around all the time. You guys all have one. In your pocket at all times. Put it on your stand, hit the record button. There's no excuse anymore, unfortunately. Or if you guys have iPads, record on that too. Say this is full. Use the iPad. If that one's full, get an external hard drive. Dump some data off on it. Record yourself all the time. Because not only is it great for your practice and listening and getting better, it's also great for marketing. Say that you play something in a practice session, it's like, man, I killed that. Great. Post on social media. You'll get noticed. If you think it's great, someone else will think it's great. And then people will share it, it's the amount of traction that recordings are getting on social media today. I don't think people really understand. Example, really quick, because we're watching the time. I've made a video of a piece called Plo Postcards last July, and it was okay. It wasn't amazing playing, but it was good, I thought. And I posted it, and I just sent it off into the sphere. I was like, Instagram, TikTok, first TikTok video I've made, set up. It's and I forgot about it. Come December, same year, I get a message from a friend of mine in Kansas City. He's like, hey, I just want to let you know you went viral. I was like, I don't know what you mean. It's like, yeah, that video has got 2.8 million views. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, someone picked it up, and now it's making its way through the Japanese and Chinese trumpet spheres, and it's going insane. I checked just a couple days ago. It's at 12 point something million views, which is insanity. And it was not even oh, I'm gonna get famous. I was just I gotta do something. Let's stay relevant in the trumpet. Let's post, forget it. Yes.
I'll add to that. My principal at Chattanooga, we wanted to bring Cratchit in to play with us, and he just wanted a little recording. He sent us that one. And having recordings like that someone was like, hey, I'm trying to get you sub work, and you have a recording to go. That's all it took. It was a recommendation from somebody, and then a recording, and then he was able to sub with us.
Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where it's you never know. My teacher would say, you never want to know when the phone's going to ring, and you better be ready for when that phone rings to pick up and answer it and actually be ready for it. You know what I mean? So, okay. Boop. Boop. Questions? Have I addressed everything that we wanted to address? Maybe there's some more burning questions. Yes.
So I'm
will always be opportunities to perform in whatever aspect that you want. Like just take for instance, I lived in a place called Overland Park, which is like a way suburb of Kansas City. Just that area had a community wind band, had a community orchestra, had a community big band, and all I had to do was just type in Overland Park music and enter, and all those came up. And they had contacts like, hey, you want to play with us? Want to audition? Blah, blah, blah. Send me. So, like, it's really as simple as that. Is whatever city you end up in teaching, city, music, enter. Look for some community ensembles. And you never know, like, what I found, and I'm not being whatever, those groups were maybe a little bit below my playing level at that point, but it leads to opportunities that are more. So I went from doing that to playing in the Kansas City Civic Symphony, which is like the amateur / semi-pro symphony orchestra with that. To playing with like the St. Joseph Symphony and like the Northland Symphony, which are paid like symphony orchestras, to regularly subbing with Kansas City Symphony. So the connections you make with those community groups are very easy to follow the chain up to bigger opportunities. Great question. More. This is wonderful. Yes.
How would you say when you get to the instrument repair field?
So there are two, I would say, avenues in the instrument repair field. There is the college, which is there are two major colleges that actually offer instrument repair degrees. It's the Red Wing College out in Red Wing, Minnesota, I believe. And then there's, I think it's so-called Badger College out in Wisconsin. They'll actually like take you through, instead of just doing one, like brass or woodwind or string, they take you through everything. So you learn how to be a brass instrument repairman, woodwind, string, guitar, percussion. They take you through the whole gamut. And then at the end you come out with a certificate, and that gives you a little bit more clout to apply for jobs. What I did was what's called an apprenticeship, where I found an instrument repair shop and said, I'm looking for a part-time job. I don't want to work at Popeye's Chicken anymore. I would like to do something that's actually in music. And they're like, yeah, we need summer help. Because if you don't know, instrument repair companies repair school instruments, and that is a very large part of their revenue. But that is a very monumental task. When you're talking about, they say a company does 10 schools. Each school will have anywhere between 50 to 100 and 200 instruments to repair, times 10, for usually 4 people. You need help to do some of the work, like just cleaning it in the bathtub, or reassembling the instrument. That's where I started, and I slowly picked up the different things, for brass. It's like, you first work on dent repair, then you work on soldering repair, then you work on, full overhaul, then you work on buffing and polishing and lacquering and blah, blah, blah. So apprentice is the one that I did. And to do that, you simply find a repair shop, ask them if they need some summer help. And most I would say 9 out of 10 times they'll be like, absolutely. Yes?
You play flute.
Yes.
So there's a person that's in the mountains up here somewhere that is a big COA person that I would get in touch with, because she does Christina Smith's flute for ASO. So like that's like, where do the pros take their instrument and go be their apprentice? Because then when they get too busy,
They're going to send you stuff.
yeah, or like not the ASO pros, but the freelancing pros, they don't want to spend as much money.
Weird, like quick weird side story. Like through that instrument shop, I got to, who knows who Whit Marsalis is? I got to repair his trumpet.
What?
It was wild. So we show up, and he has a special instrument called a Monet, which is a very unique instrument when you see it. And I saw the case on the rack, and I was like, man, well, no one around here has a Monet. Like no one has 10 grand to drop on a trumpet. Open the case, I look at the client, it says W. Marsalis. There's no way. There's no way. Dave Monette went to school with the guy that I studied from, and he sent the instrument to Mike to repair because he was too busy to do it. So I'm sitting there holding, $10,000 trumpet that was played by Whit Marsalis, who's one of the most famous jazz musicians of all time. Pretty cool. You have some?
3 minutes.
3 minutes, thank you. Any more questions? been really great. You guys have put amazing questions.
If there's no questions,
Going once.
if everybody can collect at the front so I can get a picture, that would be beautiful. Can you go to the first slide? I'll leave it out.
So, just that way you guys know, if you guys do think of anything, there's all my contact information. Please feel free to reach out.